But very funny, man. Out of Virginia, man, by way of Hickory now, man. So keep your hands going for Isaiah Pennell.
And give me that fire, fire, back. Give me that flame, flame, flame.
Make some noise for Ray Money, y'all.
Give me that, give me that. Absolutely, you can give me that. If it's mine, if it's good for me.
How's everybody doing tonight? So I'm one of John's interns, and my name's Isaiah Pennell, and I'm from Dane, Virginia. Hey, I see some applause. There we go. People know where that's at. I'm surprised, because it's a very small town, and you can remember it because Dane is the taint of the state. Y'all ever heard that song by Jason Aldean, Try That in a Small Town? Dane is smaller than any town that Jason is talking about. In Dane, they still use Pony Express to send mail. They still use the bartering system to trade goods. And they didn't have a sewage system till 2001. So top that, John Reap. So when I was around 15 or 16, I was hanging out with my cousins in my aunt and uncle's basement. Now, my aunt and uncle, they're an older couple, so they still have the old school VCR setup with the VHS tapes. Now, if you don't know what that is, a VHS tape is roughly the size of a family Bible. And it was an ancient way to watch movies back before you had streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, and Pornhub. Hey, I heard somebody make some noise over here. Oh, it was him. Young man in the front was making the noise. Anyway, I'm dusting off these ancient artifacts from the past because I haven't watched a VHS tape in years. So I really wanted to watch one. And I saw this one that had white tape on it, and it had in big bold letters, "Do not watch." So now I have to watch this shit. So I put the tape in, and it's this old couple going at it hot and heavy. 3 minutes goes by, and one of my cousins goes, "Oh shit, that's our aunt and uncle." I started laughing so hard. One of my cousins was disgusted by it, and the other one is sitting down in a recliner, and she's laughing so hard that the recliner flips over, and she's still in it. Now, first off, this wasn't some backwoods sex tape. My uncle wasn't going, "Let's keep the horse out of the bedroom tonight, honey." This was something intimate, even though it did look like a cat trying to get out of a sack. Or in this case, a sack trying to get into a cat. And y'all will be happy to know that my one cousin that was disgusted by it survived several weeks of shock therapy. And they're even talking now. The first words out of their mouth was, "Spit on me, Daddy." So I work at a skilled nursing facility, and I heard some noise over there. Thank you. And when someone is about to pass away, you have to put together a grievance cart. Now, a grievance cart is a cart that's filled with snacks and sweet tea. So I get a request one day to put one together for this lady that's about to pass away. So I load the grievance cart up with snacks and sweet tea, and I push it down to her room. And her door's shut. But I pass the CNA coming down the hall. The CNA pecks on her door and doesn't get a response. So she just barges on in. And when the door opens, another nurse has the lady down on the bed, and she's changing her diaper. So now I'm scarred for life because I just saw a granny vagina. And at 21, nobody wants to see granny puss. Y'all, that night, I had nightmares not to be believed. I dreamt that a bunch of old granny lady bits sprouted legs and started chasing me through the forest. I see my mom in the back row and she's cringing at this. So y'all know how the Jewish have 30 days of mourning? After seeing her poontang, I needed 60 days of mourning. And come to find out, she's perfectly fine. Her family requested the cart just for free snacks. So now her family is on my shit list because I saw her vagina for no reason at all. I walked by her room the other day, and have y'all seen Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise? She was wheelchair racing like Tom Cruise in Days of Thunder. How many of y'all like going to Super Bowl parties? I was at a Super Bowl party one time at my aunt and uncle's house, and my mama had gotten up from the couch to get her some chicken wings. I see my cousin in the second row. She knows what I'm getting ready to talk about. She's up there grinning. Now, my uncle thought it would be a smart choice to sneak up behind her and pants her. I don't know how many families do that, but my family is one of them. In some families, it might be weird, but in ours, it's a fine art. And by the way, my uncle was older at the time, probably close to 70, so his bones were bad, and he had 2 artificial hips that clicked every time he walked. Kind of sounded like Rice Krispie treats. You got that snack crackle pop going. So he gets behind my mom, and he gets in position, and my mom felt the tug, so she does a little sidestep to get out the way. And when she did her little sidestep, he lost his balance and started falling on the floor. Thankfully, well, actually, no, not thankfully. He tried to catch his balance, and there was a tray of chicken wings nearby. And when I say tray, in air quotes, I'm not talking about those fancy Super Bowl platters in the shape of a football. My family is too redneck and too cheap for that crap. It was the aluminum trays. Y'all know what I'm talking about? They're like real cheap and they bend, so you have to grab them from both sides or else you have a mess. Those are the trays that I'm talking about. So he starts falling, clips the tray of chicken wings. They catapult up in the air and go flying everywhere. And y'all might be wondering, what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is don't pants your kinfolk, especially if you live in West Virginia or your name is Woody Allen. So I have to tell y'all a quick story about my friend Sean. We was at the beach one time, and when my family goes to the beach, we like to walk up and down the beach and look for crabs. And when I say crabs, I'm not talking about some low-end toothless hooker that we can get an STD from. I'm talking about the actual animal. So one night, we was walking up and down the beach, and I saw this monster-sized crab. So I scoop it up, and my friend, Sean, is standing right behind me. So I throw the sucker like it's a ninja throwing star, and it goes spinning through the air. And it latches perfectly on to Sean's right nipple. So he starts screaming like a little girl, and this was like 1 a.m, so people probably woke up and thought, I didn't know Joe Biden was coming to town. So after a long, hard battle with this gigantic crab, Sean finally prized the sucker loose. And when he prized the sucker loose, I noticed something. Sean's right nipple is missing. This crab ripped off a nipple. Now, the upside to this story is I recently sold his right nipple on eBay for $20. Here it is. Folks, that's been my time.
Good job, man.